When we suffer inside us, there are three things moving. One of these three is ignorance and delusion. I used to know this kid, he was pretty alright. He had a couple of friends and they would go out at night, always drinking and smoking. People thought they were pretty cool and they were fairly well known across a whole bunch of schools. But this kid wasn't like that, he's usually sober, but he would get fucked up every time that they came over. They never saw him as equal, they always saw him as lesser. So it was natural for this kid to fall for the peer pressure. One night they said, hey, you can be like us. So we were trying to get drunk, but look, we're all out of luck. All you gotta do is be quick, just walk in the store, grab us something before they see you, just grab it before. So we walked in just like that, his mind was abuzz, thinking this is my chance, this is the way I come up, I'll finally get my respect and there will be no confusion. But there was something inside of him, he could feel it was moving. It was in that moment he saw his heart a delusion. But just then the officer walked up, so what are you doing? When we suffer inside us, there are three things moving. One of these three is ignorance and delusion. And it poisons our soul, it burns strong like a fire. The second of these is greed and desire. I used to know this kid, he was pretty alright. He had a whole bunch of friends, but they were never real tight. This one friend was smart, he had a 4.0, always bragging about it, never keeping it on the low. His other friend drove a nice ass car, thought he was cool, was a topic of conversation for half of the school. While his friends found a girl and kept doing their thing, he would look with envy at everything he had seen. Started thinking to himself, that's what I need to be happy. So he stepped up his grades and started saving his cash. Pretty soon he was wasting it all on what he didn't need. Couldn't see it was pointless, he was blinded by greed. The truth is, what he wanted, he just couldn't have. And material success was all he could ever grab. He looked like he should be a happy person on paper, but in reality, he felt that he was empty as ever. When we suffer inside us, there are three things moving. One of these three is ignorance and delusion. And it poisons our soul, it burns strong like a fire. The second of these is greed and desire. These prevent us from seeing the world as it is honestly. The last of these poisons is hatred and animosity. I used to know this kid, he was pretty alright, always talking about this girl, nothing else was in sight. Said that when he was with her, nothing else could compare. And whenever he was hurt, she was always right there. It was love where he came from, nothing but peace. Till she told him the truth, say you don't got what I need. You won't believe how quickly that love turned to hate. Tore down all the visions he'd taken time to create. So a couple months passed and they barely spoke. When people asked him about her, he made it into a joke. But the truth was whenever he saw red. He would stay up thinking about it, lay in a bed for the hurt she caused him, like a sort of revenge. But ironically, this anger only hurt him instead. For greed and ignorance, the same could be said. It's a sickness once it claws its way inside of your head.